The latest provocation from Iran, a U.S. Navy destroyer firing a series of warning shots at 4 Iranian ships in the Strait of Hormuz. This is according to defense officials. The Iranian vessels were seen speeding towards the destroyer and reportedly failed to respond to inquiries. Here now is Peter Brookes, retired Naval Intelligence Officer and Heritage Foundation Senior Fellow for National Security Affairs. Sir, thank you for joining us. What's your take on this?
Well, it's just another act of intimidation on the part of the Iranians. The reason I believe that the U.S. ship was extremely concerned about this, they warned them, they asked them to slow down, is that it's believed that Iran would use swarming tactics. In other words, send a lot of low-value vessels, such as these patrol boats, towards a high-value target, such as a U.S. ship or an aircraft carrier, in an effort to overwhelm its defenses if they were to take some sort of hostile action. So it appears to me, from what I've read, Melissa, that the U.S. commander tried to tell them to stop. They sent off flares. They had a helicopter drop something, and they continued toward the U.S. vessel. We would call constant bearing, decreasing range. So out of concern, they fired some warning shots to get the Iranians to break off and stop the potential for some sort of hostile act against the U.S. ship.
I was on one of these aircraft carriers once in the Strait of Hormuz, and they said that it was relatively common for the Iranians to come out in small boats and everybody kind of look at each other. But you see this, it sounds like, as potentially a lot more hostile. I mean, why is that? Has the environment escalated to that point? I mean, why do you feel like this is more hostile than it looks-see?
Well, the Iranians are involved in an annual exercise, which is involved with, has a purpose of training to close the Straits of Hormuz. The U.S. ship was operating in international waters. The commander of this ship apparently felt threatened. He was worried about his ship. He was worried about his crew and needed to take some sort of serious action here. But yes, tensions between the United States and Iran are high. Relations are not good. The Iranian nuclear deal has not helped things. This, Obama's Iran deal was not Nixon going to China in 1972. The relationship is still very tense, and our forces are coming across one another more and more in the Persian Gulf.
Let me ask you before we run out of time. I mean, the President-elect and the Navy together are proposing a shipbuilding boom, the likes of which we haven't seen in a long time. How does that change the equation? I mean, does it raise the level of tension because it looks aggressive, or is it that show of strength that brings more stability?
I'm all for peace through strength, and our Navy is undersized at about 275 ships. They're talking about pushing that up well over 300, maybe to 350 ships. The U.S. Navy provides presence. It provides an instrument of U.S. policy, and the first thing the President asks for during a crisis is where are the aircraft carriers. So Navy is critically important to our national security.
Peter Brookes, thank you.
Thank you.